Today, we're stepping into the unique world of governmental accounting. It can seem complex, but we're going to simplify it by thinking of it as a citizen's guide. Our goal is to understand why governments essentially keep two sets of books and how each one tells a crucial part of the story about how our tax dollars are managed. To start, we have to understand the fundamental difference between a business and a government. A for-profit company like Coca-Cola has a clear, primary goal: to generate profit for its shareholders. A government, on the other hand, has a different mission. Its primary goal is to provide services to its citizens and enhance their well-being. You can't use the same rulebook when the game has a different objective. The goal of government accounting isn't measuring profit, it's ensuring accountability. This principle of accountability is so important that the Governmental Accounting Standards Board requires two distinct sets of financial statements. First, we have the fund financial statements. Think of these as the close-up, short-term view. They report on individual activities, like the police department's budget for the year. They use modified accrual accounting, focusing only on current financial resources. Second, we have the government-wide financial statements. This is the big picture, long-term view. They report on the government as a whole, much like a corporate annual report. They use full accrual accounting, measuring all economic resources, including long-term assets and debt. So, how does a government organize all its different activities? It uses a system of funds, which are like separate financial pockets or buckets. Every dollar a government manages fits into one of three main categories. Governmental funds are for the core public services that are funded by taxes, like police, fire, parks, and libraries. Proprietary funds are for business-like activities that charge a user fee, like a city-owned swimming pool or airport. And the fiduciary funds are for money the government holds for others in a trustee capacity, like an employee pension fund. Let's look closer at the governmental funds. This is the heart of a government's operations, and where most tax money goes. These are broken down into 5 specific types, each with a clear purpose. The general fund is the main operating fund for day-to-day services. Special revenue funds are for money that is legally restricted for a specific purpose, like a gas tax that can only be used for road repairs. Capital project funds track the construction of major assets, like a new school or bridge. Debt service funds are used to make payments on long-term debt. And permanent funds are used when the government can only spend the investment earnings but not the original principal. Next are the proprietary funds. These are parts of the government that run just like a business, and they use the same full accrual accounting. There are 2 types. Enterprise funds are for services offered to the public for a fee, like your city water service or a municipal golf course. Internal service funds, on the other hand, are for internal support departments that serve other government agencies, like a central IT help desk that charges other departments for its services. Finally, we have the fiduciary funds. The most important concept to remember here is, this is not our money. The government controls these assets, but it cannot use them for its own programs. It is simply acting as a trustee, safeguarding funds for external parties, like employee pension plans. Because the government can use this money to run the city, these funds are completely omitted from the big picture, government-wide financial statements. So, why do we go through all this complexity? Because different stakeholders need answers to different questions. If an analyst or a citizen asks, did the city manage its short-term budget this year? Did the police department stay on budget? They need to look at the fund financial statements. But if that same analyst asks, is the city financially healthy in the long run? Does it have enough assets to cover its long-term pension liabilities? They must look at the government-wide financial statements. 2 sets of books. for two critical but very different perspectives on a government's financial health.